personal story and how I use the Wim Hof Method, and hopefully by doing so, that'll shed some light on how you can do the same. I'll try to keep it brief, or else Laura, Wim's daughter, is going to come and drag me off stage. She's going to beat me up if I talk for too long, so I'll try to go as quick as possible. Like many people in here, the events of September 11th completely changed my life. Two things happened right after that. One, we became a nation at war. And two, I became a Marine. Thank you. Now, regardless of your thoughts about war, whether we should have been in Iraq, whether we should not have, that's not my call. As an officer, my job is simple: to make sure all of the Marines under my command come home safely. Period. Thank you. Unfortunately, very early into my career, I sustained a significant injury. I was coming down a rope. I fell, landed my feet to the ground. My left leg hit just before my right. I jammed my left leg up into my hip socket. I tore all the cartilage of my left hip. I dislocated my pelvis. This is not easy to do. I don't recommend anyone trying that. I crushed some discs in my lower back. The top one of my skull is now fused to my skull. I have some other ones that are now freaking crooked, medical term, in my neck. For a very long time while I was on active duty, I was on a multitude of painkillers, all kinds of medication. Even after I got out of the military, I was still taking Advil, Aleve, naproxen, multiple times a day, every single day. Since adapting a daily practice of the Wim Hof Method, I can proudly say that I no longer take any kind of medication whatsoever.
Fuck yeah!
One of my first jobs in the Marine Corps was training Marine Corps advisors. Advisors are basically the Marines who would link up with Iraqi or Afghani units at the time and basically teach them how to run an army. It is not a coincidence that one of the first things that they teach you in the Marine Corps, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, if your world is literally and figuratively blowing up around you, in order to control your mindset, the first thing that you do is radically change your breathing pattern. By radically changing your breathing, you are sending a signal to your brain that you are in charge. The brain is a general, the troops are the body. It is your job to take control of that situation.
Almost.
Following that position, I was then transferred to Headquarters Marine Corps, where I worked for the Commandant, who was the head general in the Marine Corps. One of my jobs while working at the Pentagon was as a writer. I wrote condolence letters on behalf of the Marine Corps. So anytime a Marine was killed in battle, it was my job to send the letter to a family to notify them of their loved one's passing. I can assure you that there are no words that can provide any level of comfort or solace to a grieving mother, father, spouse, or child. Despite that fact, I wrote. It still gets emotional every time I talk about it, even to this day, but for a very long time I was unable to speak about this at all whatsoever. Back then, I had to suppress my emotions in order to complete my mission and accomplish my task. I didn't know any other way to do so. But what I realized is that if you suppress your emotions long enough, then you'll end up depressed. Because that's exactly what happened to me. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, addiction, you name it, I had it. For me, the Wim Hof Method is now my medicine. By going into it, thank you. By going into an ice bath, you are consciously going into that scary, panic-filled, fight-or-flight, sympathetic nervous system response. If you can go into that situation with your head held high, if you can go into that situation and learn how to relax, if you can go into that situation and take control of your mindset, you can then take that information and translate that into any other area of your life.
Yes!
The ice bath is an amazing training tool. It's also a metaphor. So before you go into the ice today, I want you to ask yourself this question. What is your ice bath? In what ways could your life potentially improve if you learn how to relax in any given situation? What way could you be a better parent, a better spouse, a better coworker, a better friend? Because from my experience, I can tell you that if you can go into that ice bath situation and learn how to surrender and let go, life gets exponentially easier. So I want to thank each and every one of you for personally coming out today. This is an amazing experience. Please embrace it, live it, love it, and most importantly, learn from it. Thank you very much.
Whoa! He on the wall! He on the wall! He brought peace!